What's up? It's time for today's lunchtime football card review. Starting off, I'm going to do a quick recap of Thursday night's game, just in case you missed it, between the Bills and the Dolphins. This one was a pretty back and forth game until the fourth quarter. The Dolphins offense, they just couldn't get through the Bills defense. Tua, he didn't have a big passing night, but he still managed to keep the Dolphins in a close one and didn't throw an interception into the last minutes of the game, sealing their fate in a 21-31 loss to the Bills. Now, I'm getting into the noon games for tomorrow. First, we got the Titans versus the Colts. The big question here is going to be, can Daniel Jones lead the Colts to a 3-0 start? Last meeting, the Colts won 28-20. Still, we got the Cincinnati Bengals versus the Minnesota Vikings. We got no Burrow, we got no McCarthy. The big question is, will Drake Brown and be able to keep trending this offense for the Cincinnati Bengals in the right direction? And then for the Vikings, is Carson Wentz going to be able to revive what once was and help them win their first home game of the season? We'll just have to find out. Next up, we got the Pittsburgh Steelers versus the New England Patriots. I expect this game to be low scoring and probably a lot of rushing yards. Next up, we got the Houston Texans versus the Jacksonville Jaguars. And I'm taking the Jags all day in this one. I don't think the Texans have a chance of winning, and it's going to be another loss for them this week. Their offense hasn't looked pretty, and they're dead last in scoring. Their defense will be tested all day by this Jags offense. Panthers versus the Falcons. Bryce Young and the Panthers, they might just get their first win of the season right here. It just all depends on how quickly they are able to get their offense going this week. Eagles versus the Rams. This is my key matchup of the week. I think the Eagles can win and advance to be 3-0 to start the season, but they'll definitely have to learn how to throw the ball more this week. And their defense will have their work cut out for them, trying to keep up with the duo of Devontae Adams and Puka Nacua. Jets versus the Bucks. Jets are playing backup quarterback Tyrod Taylor. They ain't even been playing well in their first two games at all. And given some of their injuries they have, it'll be safe to say the Bucks will have a greater chance of winning this week. Expect the Jets secondary to be tested and Sauce Gardner versus Mike Evans to be a key matchup. Raiders versus the Commanders. Geno Smith is definitely looking for redemption after his performance last week, and this might be the perfect game to do so. The Commanders' defense will be tested this week, and without Jaden Daniels on offense, a shootout wouldn't be in their best interest. So this defense will need to be on point and limit the big plays and yards after the catch. Last noon game of the day, you got the Packers versus the Browns. Both teams' pass rushing abilities on defense are going to be big contributors in this game. And I think it'll all come down to whose offense is going to be able to find the cracks in the opponent's defense and exploit them and do it quickly. Will Joe Flacco and the Browns offense be able to beat the streak and win their first game of the season? We don't know. We'll just have to see.